In July 2018, 20-year-old Molly Tibbetts was home for the summer in the small town of Brooklyn. She was a college student studying psychology and was staying at her boyfriend's house while his family was away. Friends described her as driven, kind, and full of energy. No one imagined her name would soon make national headlines. On the evening of July 18, Molly went out for a jog, something she often did. She was seen wearing running shorts, headphones, and a sports bra as she left the house. But hours passed, and she never returned. Her family and boyfriend grew worried. Calls went unanswered. Messages were left unread. Soon, a massive search began. Volunteers walked through fields, neighborhoods, and roadsides. Authorities searched for clues, while social media spread her photo across the country. Weeks passed with no answers, and fear grew over what might have happened. Then, about a month later, investigators received a breakthrough. Security footage from the area showed a vehicle repeatedly driving near Molly while she was jogging. Investigators traced the car to a local farm worker named 𝗀𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗃. According to investigators, Rivera later told police that he had followed Molly while she was running. He claimed that after an encounter, he became angry and attacked her. Authorities said he led investigators to a cornfield where Molly's body had been hidden. The discovery devastated her family and shocked the country. In 2021, Rivera was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. The case of Molly Tibbetts became a painful reminder of how quickly an ordinary day can turn tragic. A simple evening jog ended in unimaginable loss, leaving a family and community searching for answers that would never fully heal the pain. Bianca Devins was a 17-year-old from Utica, New York, whose tragic death shocked the internet and sparked conversations about online obsession and violence. On July 14, 2019, Bianca was killed by a 21-year-old man named Brandon Clark after the two attended a concert together in New York City. According to investigators, the pair had known each other through online communities and had developed a close but complicated relationship. Police said that after leaving the concert, they drove back toward Utica and stopped near a dead-end street in the town of Kirkland, New York. Authorities later said an argument broke out, reportedly after Clark became upset seeing Bianca interact with another man at the concert. What made the case especially disturbing was what happened afterward. Investigators said Clark posted graphic images of Bianca's body online, along with disturbing messages on social media. The images spread rapidly across different platforms before moderators could remove them, leaving many people horrified and raising serious concerns about internet safety and content moderation. Police were alerted after someone saw the disturbing posts online and called authorities. When officers arrived, they found Clark injured nearby after what investigators described as a suicide attempt. He was taken into custody and later charged. In 2020, Brandon Clark pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. Bianca's death became a widely discussed case, not only because of the crime itself, but because it highlighted the dangers of unhealthy online relationships, digital harassment, and how violent content can spread quickly across the internet. Her family has continued to speak about remembering Bianca as more than the tragedy, a young woman who loved art, music, and spending time with friends. In July 2012, 16-year-old Skylar Neese disappeared from her home in Star City, West Virginia. At first, it looked like a typical runaway case. Security footage showed Skylar climbing out of her bedroom window late at night and getting into a car. But what police didn't know was that the people inside that car were her two best friends. Skylar had been close to 𝗀𝗵𝗲𝗃 and Rachel Schoaf for years. The three girls appeared inseparable. But behind the scenes, their friendship had become strained. Investigators later learned there had been arguments and growing tension between them. For months, Skylar's family searched desperately for answers. Her parents pleaded for information, hoping she would come home safely. Meanwhile, 𝘁𝗫𝗃 and Rachel continued acting like concerned friends, even posting messages online about missing Skylar. But everything changed in January 2013. Rachel 𝘀𝗵𝗃 broke down and confessed to police. She admitted that she and 𝘁𝗫𝗃 had planned Skylar's murder in advance. According to investigators, the two girls drove Skylar to a remote wooded area under the excuse of going for a late-night drive. Once there, they attacked her, stabbing her to death. When police asked why, the motive shocked many people. Rachel reportedly said they killed Skylar simply because they didn't want to be friends with her anymore. Authorities later recovered Skylar's remains based on Rachel's confession. Rachel 𝘀𝗵𝗃 pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and received a 30-year sentence. 𝘁𝗫𝗃 pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 15 years. The murder of Skylar 𝗀𝗎𝗄 remains one of the most disturbing cases of betrayal. A teenage girl killed not by strangers, but by the friends she trusted most. In July 2018, 18-year-old Nia Wilson was spending time with her sisters in the city of Oakland. Friends and family described Nia as bright, caring, and full of life. She had dreams for the future and was known for her warm personality. But on one ordinary summer evening, everything changed in a matter of seconds. On July 22, Nia and her two sisters were returning home after a day in San Francisco. They got off at the MacArthur station, a busy train stop used by thousands of commuters every day. What should have been a normal trip home suddenly turned terrifying. As the sisters walked through the station, authorities say a stranger approached them without warning. According to investigators, the man suddenly attacked Nia and her older sister with a knife before fleeing the scene. The attack was fast, random, and left people nearby in shock. Emergency responders rushed to help. Nia's sister survived her injuries, but Nia tragically did not. She died at just 18 years old, leaving her family devastated and her community searching for answers. Soon after, surveillance footage and witness reports helped investigators identify a suspect, John Lee Cowell. Authorities arrested him the following day. Prosecutors later argued that the attack was deliberate and brutal. The case drew national attention and sparked conversations about public safety, violence, and justice. In 2021, Cowell was convicted of first-degree murder for Nia's death and sentenced to life in prison. For many, the story of Nia Wilson remains heartbreaking because there was no warning and no clear reason. A teenager simply heading home with family lost her life in an act of sudden violence that forever changed those who loved her.